We don't see or hear a lot about female artists at the time, but there were several that had quite a bit of notoriety, and there were others. This is a time period, think Jane Austen, where a young woman from an aristocratic family would have needed to be well learned. So she would have had training in painting, Latin, music. This was not the case for lower middle class females. They would have rarely had the opportunity to learn how to paint. Sophonisba's self-portraits were in high demand. She made 12 of them when this was not a popular subject matter until Rembrandt. Most female artists would have learned from a relative or a father, but this wasn't the case with Sophonisba. She actually studied with other artists, and we have record of a letter that Michelangelo sent her father. So it was known that she either met him and or studied with him. Usually, female artists would depict things close to the home. Women artists generally painted a still life or a portrait because they couldn't travel as men did or paint from nude models. This is an example of that subject matter, but she has chosen to portray a chess game which does require an intellectual pursuit. We see her three sisters here, Lucia, Europa, and Minerva, and their governess looking on. The composition that we have is the older sister who's just won is looking out at her, Sophonisba, the painter, but then her eye is drawn around to the other two faces and then the arm of her other sister. Anguisolla painted until she was 78 years old, and she died in 1625 at the age of 93. Another artist of the time, Lavinia Fontana, enjoyed quite a bit of fame. She has one of the largest collection of paintings from any female artist earlier than 1700, with 135 signed paintings. She painted portraits of noble Bolognese ladies because she is from Bologna, and she was the portraitist of choice for these women. This is depicting a mannerist style portrait. It's very elegant. Mannerism could be called the stylish style. The mannerist style liked to make things a bit confusing and have hidden meanings, and this is a very posed scene with obvious artificiality. Fontana also painted religious subject matter and mythological scenes. This is the Assumption of the Virgin. And this was unusual for women of the time period. Fontana was known for her ability to paint textures. Fontana made a living as a painter. She did marry, however, a fellow painter, and they had 11 children. He worked and kept the household running and often painted her backgrounds while she painted the main subject matter. Her fame spread so much that they moved to Rome in 1604, and she became a portraitist at the court of Pope Paul V.